What is up, people? Welcome to the live stream. On today's stream, I'm going to be giving you dubious advice. Of course, my lawyer has asked me to preface before I say anything. This is strictly not therapy, and no advice given should be considered in any serious capacity. I hold no liability for any harm or psychological damage which may incur as a result of following any recommendations given. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream, everybody. How are we doing? Who is my lawyer? That is confidential information. It cannot be revealed unless under power of subpoena. Thank you very much. Bond, Kevin Bond, welcome. Dude Perfect, what's good? Kevin, hello, hello. 50, what's up? Fancy dress? I am just dressed appropriately for the occasion. Thank you very much. Saul Goodman, I wish Saul Goodman was my lawyer. Truly I do. He is not. He is not. Foxy, you've done the semi-doll? No worries, we'll be taking a look at that. I'm gonna get these not a therapist questions and queries loaded up. 50, thank you very much for the resub. You are now on 17 months total, 13-month streak. Absolutely crazy that you pulled that off, saying 17 months and a 13-month streak, all to support some sticky arthritis gameplay switchless scrub. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Exclamation point NAT in chat if you would like to submit any queries, any dilemmas you may be experiencing that you would like me to provide some help with. Put those in the chat, people. I'm gonna continue on from where I left off. The Green Neo, shout out to you being subbed for 2 months. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Hell yeah, let's freaking go. In fact, it was your 2-month sub, but that's the 3-month celebration. So thank you for 3 months, it would appear. Okay, before we get into it, let's take a look. This song is so jarring. Remove this from the playlist. I'm sorry. Remove that song from the playlist. Nah, that was such a jarring song, I swear. Anyway, we're gonna check out the semi-doll, and then we're going to get straight into Not a Therapist, people. All right. This one titled All Good Things, suggesting that the completion to that sentence would be must come to an end. Of course, we know that is not the case. I know immediately what video this is. There's only one video on my channel that has this color palette when it comes to the thumbnail. Sachin, what's good? I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing? Kevin saying film program for the film festival released, and I'll be watching 24 movies in 2 weeks, 16 the first week and 8 in the second week. Kevin, I'm always so happy when it's film festival season for you, because that must be like Christmas, man. Like Christmas when you were like 8 years old. That's what film festival season is for you. The piss guy, man guy. Not quite. Carlos, what's up? Welcome. Greetings from the UK. Sachin was doing good until you saw my face. Wow, that sounds like a you problem. Honestly, it sounds like a you problem. I went first when you went first when you were 17. Nice. This is not the tester. No thumbnail for the tester had a white background. I will say it is an older video. This is retro Tamago. It is. Oh my god, it's the FOMO guy. It's me. It is me. I didn't know I was known as the FOMO guy to anyone, but it's always cool to learn new things. Please do a stream where you play Kahoot with us. We've actually done Kahoot on stream a couple of times, so it's likely it'll happen again. It's an ugly thumbnail. Okay, thanks. It wasn't a custom thumbnail, I'll tell you that right now. This guy who possible the impossible quiz. Yeah, that was me. 50, you got it correct. It is This Girl Is on Fire, Tamagags. Pause the music, because I know Foxy likes to include some sound effects in these. Oh yeah, my stream deck doesn't work for pause the music anymore. It is This Girl Is on Fire. That's what it is. There we go. Goodbye, Semi-doll. Yeah, I know it's not going anywhere. All good things come to an end. The same can't be said about Family Guy. The memories. What memories? Alright. Okay. I was expecting a psych in there. Was that really the final Simidor? I was expecting a psych. Was that the last one? Is Simidor over? Damn. You hate to see it. Why is a sticky man pink to suggest it's a girl? Hashtag sexist. There's nothing in the video to indicate it's a girl. You just hear someone screaming in a high-pitched voice, and then, you know, the fireman does not put them out. You assumed it was a girl, so I can turn your reasoning right back on you. Why did you assume it was a girl? Huh? What's going on, Kevin? What's going on? Weird. Weird. All right, people. The title says different. Oh, this girl is on fire. Okay. We're gonna ignore that. This is the perfect music. Oh my goodness, this is the perfect music for this segment. People, have you got queries? Have you got questions you want me to answer? Let me know. We're gonna figure this out together. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. I am. Good. Okay. I'm gonna be skipping the unserious ones unless they're actually funny. They rarely are. Let's see what we've got. Damn, we got a lot of rubbish ones. Huh. Nope, that's a rubbish one as well. Okay, what should I do when someone I know is kind of not talking to me? Well, okay, if someone's not talking to you, it's a very broad question. There's not a whole lot I can say there. You know, maybe the person has good reason to not want to talk to you. Maybe they aren't intentionally not talking to you. Maybe they just kind of have moved on a little bit talking to other people. But if you were to rekindle that friendship, just say hello, make the first move. Maybe they talk back. Without specific details, it's hard for me to say anything specific for this one. But try and make an effort to reach out first. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I found my English teacher on Omegle. Now he's leaving. What do I do? Nothing. What do you mean, what do I do? Do nothing. Who cares if your teacher's on Omegle? Move on with your life. I like anime, but I don't want anyone to know, but I don't want to just keep it a secret. You have to make a decision. Are you going to be known as a weeb? Or are you going to keep it hush? Alright, you have to make a freaking decision. Okay, that's a Breaking Bad meme. Damn! We've had like so many meme ones in a row. I told one of my friends that he's rude and a bad friend for ditching our friendship. He then blocked me and stuff, and my other friend got mad at me because I called him a bad friend. It sounds like the friend that you blocked. Music's kind of loud. Hold on a second. Okay, I couldn't hear it properly, but whatever. That's fine. I'll turn it down a little bit. It should be okay. Let me know how this is. Hopefully that's fine. And I'll move the mic a little bit closer to my mouth. I'll show the questions when it's an actual serious question. So far, these are not so great. Okay, but this one. So, I mean, I feel like I can cover this one quickly. So, again, there's not a lot of detail here. You say that you told one of your friends that he's rude and a bad friend because he ditched your friendship. Maybe he just doesn't want to be friends anymore. That is just a thing that can happen. No one has to be friends with anybody. You feel like he's ditched your friendship. That's a shame, but you can't force someone to be your friend. And so calling someone a bad friend for not wanting to be your friend anymore doesn't do much. You say your other friend got mad at you for calling him a bad friend. I understand why the other friend might get mad, because maybe they don't want that sort of confrontation. Maybe they don't feel similarly. Ultimately, if someone doesn't want to be your friend anymore, you kind of just have to let it go. There's not much else to do there. Let's go back. Let's see what else we have. Cinema or Netflix? Cinema is an experience, but Netflix is convenient. All right, this one's a shame. So it says, I just feel like everyone hates me. No matter how many people I meet who support me, I still come back to the feeling that I'm not wanted. Now, this is actually a feeling that is not uncommon. You know, it happens to many people at a certain point in their life where they just feel like a burden on other people. And even when you are told explicitly by people who love you that they love you, they want you, they don't consider you a burden at all, it can be hard to actually register that and believe that in your mind. I think often, and Oski, thanks for the stretch, we'll do that in a moment. I think often feelings like this can stem from negative self-talk. You know, so that when you talk negatively to yourself about yourself, you know, how you speak to yourself in your own mind, it can influence how you feel about yourself, and it can influence your reaction to other people saying nice things about you, because it conflicts with what you say about yourself, and you're more likely to trust yourself than anyone else. And that negative self-talk can come as a result of negative feelings. So it's this sort of feedback loop where you feel bad because you have negative self-talk, and you have negative self-talk because you feel bad. I think one thing to do with this is essentially you need to first shift your negative self-talk if you are experiencing that. So at that, it can be really small things. Trey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. You haven't missed too much. You've only been live about 10 minutes so far. It's all good. But it can be small things. Like, let's say, you know, you drop something. You might say to yourself, "Oh, I'm such an idiot." I never ever call yourself an idiot. You know, even when people in my chat sometimes say, "Oh, I'm so stupid," I'm like, "No, don't call yourself stupid." You know, it's the way we speak to ourselves has an impact. And so, you know, it's just about making sure you're always nice to yourself, be kind to yourself. You come back to the feeling that you're not wanted. This can be, it can be a symptom of like a more depressed mood. I don't want to just say straight up depression, but it can be a symptom of a more depressed mood, that feeling that you're a burden. I think a lot of it comes down to just the way you're thinking a lot. There are a few kind of thought fallacies that can occur. For example, catastrophization, where maybe you feel like you do something, you feel like the thing is like a negative thing, it hasn't gone so well. Maybe you forgot, just an example, you forgot someone's birthday, right? And so you're like, oh, now they're gonna think I'm a terrible friend, now they're gonna hate me, oh, I really do suck. But it would be a more appropriate response to say, hey, I forgot their birthday, people forget things, what can I do next time? I'll write it in my calendar, I'll put a notification on. You know, if I really feel bad, I can go up to them and say, hey, I forget your birthday. But ultimately recognizing it's not that big a deal, but when you are in that negative state of mind, things can just expand to seem like a much bigger deal than they really are. That feeling of, that kind of self-hate, it sucks, but it can be overcome. But it has to be actively overcome, and you need to, even when you don't feel like it, you need to tell yourself that you're good and that you are wanted. And then when someone tells you that, you need to like tell yourself and reinforce it for yourself. Eventually what you say to yourself will materialize in how you feel about yourself. And if not, then do try to seek help, like speaking to a therapist, or even going through maybe cognitive behavioral therapy can help a lot with that, which is all about actively thinking and actively working on your thought patterns and how you think. So yeah, I hope you feel better. But that's a it's a terrible way to feel. I felt that way in the past. There's an episode of BoJack Horseman that focuses specifically on BoJack's self-hatred towards himself and how he talks to himself. And I think that's a good episode for like finding something you can relate to. In my experience, people watch BoJack Horseman when they're depressed. I mean, at least that was the case for me. So yeah. Can we talk about what's pinned to your taskbar? It's all the apps I use for making videos. Like every single one is something I use for making videos or live streaming. Except the calculator, that's just for calculation. Did anyone have anything to say about that? I'm not necessarily wanted. Girls, just stay away from me. Why do you have WhatsApp pinned to your taskbar? Oh, okay. Well, that's just so I can talk to people. I mean, what? That's what WhatsApp is for, right? Bro, thanks so much, tamagoVODs. You're one of the best YouTubers on the site. But boy, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let me do Oski's stretch. What's that mean to me, bro? My number hopefully is staying under wraps. We'll see though. Oh, okay. See, the place where I pulled my back is slightly better, but it's still not great, honestly. But it is slightly better. Storms, I'm gonna go through them all in order. So eventually I will get through to all of them. As long as, you know, it depends on how quickly I go through them. Have I watched the end of the effing water? That's not a query, but I mean, it's a query, it's not a dilemma, but yeah. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see this one. I'm an old man. All right, thank you. A lot of you guys have like relationship advice questions. I'm like, dude, this isn't my field. I'm not gonna lie. There's this girl, friend A, I really like, but her friend and my close friend, friend B, also likes me. Oh, it's her friend and your close friend. I thought you had 3 people that liked you. Okay. Or 3 people involved. There's 2. So friend A, friend B. Friend B also likes me, and I really do not want her to ask me out. I do honestly like friend B, but she's like a sister to me. I'm currently at a stage where at any moment I could ask friend A out, but I don't want to hurt friend B or ruin our friendship. What am I supposed to do? I'm in college, by the way. You have no obligation to friend B to not ask out friend A. You know, I think you have the impression that friend B really likes you, or also likes you. You didn't say really, you said they also like you, but you really do not want her to ask you out. Listen, she might ask you out. You have to just say, oh, listen, I'm flattered, I appreciate it, but no. And just ask out friend A. I know you want to protect friend B's feelings, but you already don't like her or them. Did you say you said I don't want to talk? You already don't like her, so there's nothing you can do. She's going to end up feeling a little hurt no matter what, because it hurts when you like someone and they don't like you back. So there's actually nothing you can do about that. But you like friend A. You have to actually just ask out friend A. I mean, it's not saying friend A will say yes either, but that's what you want at least. So you gotta ask out friend A. You know, don't be an asshole to friend B, but there's nothing you can do for friend B, you know? Like, she's not entitled to you. And so, I mean, I think I've covered it, to be honest. I don't think it's that complicated a situation. It's when obviously there are emotions involved, and so it can feel bad. It's like, I have a feeling friend B likes me, but I like friend A. If you don't like friend B back, then just make it clear. I mean, you don't even have to say anything. If she hasn't asked you out, leave it at that. Ask out friend A. You know, you don't have to, as long as you're not leading friend B on. You know, I hope she hasn't been making advances and you've been kind of like not saying no to it. But yeah, like just ask out friend A. Just ask out friend A. Like, get it done, you know? Get it done. Solution, friend C. That's not an option, it doesn't seem, but hey. What number am I on right now? 69. I'm on number 69. That's not a meme. I'm on 69. Simi doesn't get bunda and Fets relationship advice. Fets? Is that like a typo, or is that a is that slang? Oh, and yet relationship advice. What? Okay, whatever, man. Whatever. Friend B will understand if she's your friend. Yeah, and you know, it's still likely that, you know, when you ask someone out and you get rebuffed, it's a bit like, oh, okay. But yeah, if they're respectful, it'll be fine, you know? It'll be fine. I feel like we need a sitcom intro for this segment, bro. A year 9 was gonna write that in his Romeo and Juliet essay that Juliet was incredibly sexy. I mean, it's their imagination, sure. All right. Let's see what else we have. Okay, you've shared your name here, so I guess I'll show it. Me and my sister used to be fairly close. We would watch TV shows together and stuff like that. But later on, when she went to secondary school and I went to secondary school, we talked less and less. A normal conversation between us is me, hey, sis, hey, me, did you eat, sis, yeah, me, cool. I want to change this, and I don't know how. Since I already am introverted and I don't talk much to new people, it's kind of hard. Well, she's not new, she's your sister. I'm kind of sad that it's hard for me to reconnect with my sister from Sachi. Okay, you know, that's a shame when that happens. I think the best thing to do in this case is to actually express how you feel to your sister. Go to her, sit down and say, I feel like we've been drifting apart. I want us to hang out more. Like, actually say that, you know, because if it's one of these things where it's just, you know, an unsaid thing, maybe she feels the same way. Maybe she misses hanging out with you. Maybe she feels, you can never know why a person is being the way they're being until you ask them. And even then you might not know, because they won't always say the truth, or they might not always be able to put it into words themselves. But if you haven't actually spoken to them about it and actually asked them, like, hey, why don't we hang out as much as we used to, then you won't know. And then also, like, express that you want to hang out more. And one of the best ways to do that is by creating opportunities yourself for hanging out more. You know, maybe, you know, I don't know if she's your older sister or your younger sister, it doesn't really matter. Maybe you invite her to do something. Hey, do you want to go and watch this movie together? You know, you can just be like, you can just go up like, hey, you want to go watch this movie together? You want to do this thing together? Like, just make it so that it's not just one of those things where it's like, oh, we'll hang out more, and then nothing ever gets done. Try and make the initial effort yourself of, okay, we can do this thing, and I'm going to invite you to do it with me, and then we can hang out more. It does have to be an active thing where you're trying, and hopefully your sister is receptive, especially since you said you used to be fairly close. It might not be the case, but you can't know unless you try. So that's what I would suggest for that particular case. Let's see. I don't know if my sister wants to hang out with me, not gonna lie. She's in her early 20s, and I don't know, maybe she doesn't like me, or she's forced to like me. You know, it's I always think it's worth speaking, you know, even with your sister in her early 20s. Me and my sister have a big age gap as well. You can still be good friends with your sister, you know. Try to reach out, you know. If she's like, I'm busy, can't hang out that much, you know, that's a real shame. But try to, especially if you express to her that you miss her, you know, it's important that she knows at least. I would share how I feel. Let's see what Kevin has said. Sachin, you good. Through puberty, you're just trying to find your identity a bit, which is why you might be talking less than when you hung out a lot as children, where you eventually drift back to each other. Yeah, as you get older, you know, obviously your sister's still, or your sister is, it's just a human thing, developing in her own way. You know, it's possible that you can drift back together, but you should still, like, you know, ask, like, yo, can we hang out? And yeah, you're 16, she's 4 years older. Oh, okay. All right, well, you said early 20s, she's 20. But yeah, you can still hang out. Like, even if someone is busy, you can make time for the people you care about. So if you express that, I'm sure, or at least I'd hope, something could be worked out. I have glass in my eyes. Thank you for hydrating me. Thanks for hydrating me. I mean, if you hydrate yourself, that's good for you, you know. Bullet Boy, thanks for the Neopets based, Tamago 24/7 based Family Guy theme song. Do appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see what else we have here. I hope that was able to help at least somewhat. I don't like what was just said about hydrating him. What are the dimensions and indicators of social isolation? That's not really a dilemma. I feel like you could Google that. I mean, I think social isolation is when you feel like you're not being as socially satisfied as you'd like to be. You're not hanging out with friends as much as you'd like to be. You're not speaking to other people as much as you would like to be. I think a lot of it is a personal thing. Like, do you feel like you're longing for something? Do you feel like there's a lacking there in terms of connections with other people? But as far as like dimensions and indicators, that sounds very specific, so I can't say anything for sure. Is it important to have a good relationship with your sister? If you can have good relationships with your family members, that is 100% beneficial. You know, your family members are your first companions, you know, or at least usually they're your first companions, and your siblings are your first best friends usually. So having a good relationship with them is always ideal. It doesn't always happen, which is unfortunate, but it's always ideal. Let's see. Would you please suggest me some young adult novels for examining hostile speech from a critical, pragmatic perspective? I can't do that. I'm sorry. Best of luck. I hope someone else can help you with that. Okay, and then you submitted that again. Okay, someone has just sent me the freaking English homework. I have a problem with binge watching 20 hours of the Harry Potter trilogy. What do you mean trilogy? It's not a trilogy. Every day, I don't eat or go to the toilet. I have 4 hours to sleep to get ready every day for a 20-hour movie marathon. Okay, so you don't know what trilogy means. I feel like that's what you need help with first. I need help as I have problems. I refuse to watch the second one as it's crap. Okay. Best of luck with that. My friend doesn't get a Switch, even though there are a lot of good games on the Switch. What should I do? It's your friend's choice whether they get a console or not, so that's up to you. It's up to you. Well, it's not up to you. It's their choice. It's up to them. Sorry. Let's see. Let's keep going. Workout routine, because we can see your pecs through that ugly ass jumper, bruh. I just have the Pure Gym app on my phone and I do what it tells me to do. That's it. I don't go to the gym that often, to be fair. Oh man. What we got? There's this person I like. Should I change my username to be the same of them but add a 4 at the end because the one I want is taken, or is that creepy? Okay, thank you. Yeah, my username. Yeah. Okay, you know what? There aren't actually a lot of actual serious dilemmas here. Let me take a look at this. You don't go to the gym if your back breaks every time. Should I take sixth form or college? Because I think sixth form's better education and I do want to go to uni, but college allows me to take an apprenticeship or a part-time job. What should I do? It all depends on what you would like to do after you know, the next 2 years of your education, right? Sixth form is geared towards university, and in sixth forms, you know, you're treated just like a student from year 7 to year 11. So, you know, things are going to be stricter, but that's a good thing in the sense that it will help you be more focused on your studies. The teaching will likely be better, and you'll probably have more success when it comes to getting into university. If you don't want to go to university and you're more interested in apprenticeships, and you know a specific apprenticeship course you want to do that is offered by a college, and while doing that, you wanted to have a part-time job, then going to college is the best option, because that's what you would need to go to college for. So it really comes down to knowing what you want to do, and that's really hard to do at the age of 16, which is when you have to decide, right? It's really hard. You have to think to yourself, what is more likely? Am I more likely to want to go to university, or am I more likely to want to go straight into an apprenticeship for a trade or other skill? Once you know that, the which institution you go to should sort itself out. So I think the most important thing to ask yourself now is, what am I most likely to want to do in a broader sense? You don't need to know the specific topic, but do I want to work, or do I want to continue to study? That's the question you need to ask. You need to ask first, and that will help you determine what your next steps are. Let's see what other people are saying. What number is this? This is number 88, and we have 137 responses now. I did an IT course in college and did pretty decent and got into a degree in uni. It's very possible and quite easy. You just have to apply yourself and work hard. I'm going to Liverpool soon. Right. Nice. Okay, that's nice. Hell yeah. I got a friend who did sixth form, I guess, and is now studying for university, so it all depends on the student itself. Yep. Little boy saying, what's the difference? A sixth form is an institution attached to a school. So when you're, 16 to 18, you study in year 12 and 13, what the courses you choose for A-levels. A college is only for ages 16 to 18, so it's not attached to a school, and you can do A-levels there, but you can also do the apprenticeship course. But I'd recommend, if you want to do A-levels, you go to a sixth form, just because you're probably going to perform better at a sixth form than at a college, because it's actually a school, and so there's more of a focus on the education aspect of it. Whereas with college, it's really easy to just not go into college. They're not going to chase you up. They're just going to be like, oh, you don't really attend. Whereas as part of a sixth form, it's like you're a school student. So if you don't show up, they're going to call you. They're going to be like, where are you? So you have that more focus on actually attending and stuff like that. And this comes from my experience with going to sixth form myself, and then knowing people who went to college. In my opinion, I think colleges have bad reps. That's not to mean they are bad, but I think people who go to college are perceived to be dumb, or people who didn't pass their GCSE, which I think is very wrong. I mean, there might be that perception. But yeah, not all colleges are bad. I think people who tend to perform worse are more likely, perform worse in exams specifically, are more likely to go to a college. But performing worse in exams doesn't mean you're dumb. Doing exams is a specific skill set, and there are other skill sets in it. So yeah, my suggestion is to cheat on your exams. Hey, if you can get away with it, I'm not condoning it, but I mean, yeah, it's all fun and games until you get caught. Then it's peak. I don't even understand. Is it morally wrong to charge college students $50 to do their homework when they're feeling overwhelmed, even if it's good work? This question doesn't make sense to me. Who is charging people $50 to do their homework? Who's doing that? What does that mean? What does that mean? Wait, what? So you have to, if you want to do your homework, you have to pay? Did this person write it incorrectly? Is it a penalty of $50 if you don't submit your homework? I think that's more likely, right? Because then the whole overwhelmed part would make more sense. That would make more sense, because it's yeah, so even if they're overwhelmed and they don't do their homework, they would get a penalty of $50. Come back to me when you can write your question properly. Oh, man. What we got? Okay. Alright, this is the one year artist really wanted me to read last time, and I know this because he freaking signed his name on it. I like this girl, but she's really hard to read. When we get together, we really get on and gel really well and have a lot in common. but always declines offers to stay over, even though we'll hang out till like 3 a.m. And when it's over, when it's over text, she barely texts back. So what's the dilemma? Like, what do you want me to say? 3 a.m. bruh, she'd probably get mugged. Okay, so you say you like the girl. I mean, I think maybe I'm just a very direct person, but I would just ask like, hey, I like you. Do you like me back? Like, like I would do that. I just feel like the idea of trying to read someone, trying to figure it out, for me, it's just unnecessarily extending the kind of stress that it's putting you through trying to figure it out, when you could just ask, hey, I'm into you, are you into me? And then she will either say yes or no, or she'll give some nebulous answer, but at least it's you've put it on the table that, you know, I like you. So I think that's what you want me to leave the dilemma on the screen? I mean, sometimes I feel like it's better for me to actually speak directly into the camera, but I'll leave it and have myself in full screen. But I'll leave it up for anyone who wants to like catch up on the dilemma. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. You know, you can't really just tell how a person is feeling by trying to read them. You know, things like, you know, okay, she declines offers to stay over, even though we'll hang out until like 3 a.m. So she wants to stay late with you, but she doesn't want to stay over with you. Ask, I would say ask, like, hey, are you interested in like having a romantic thing, or is this just a friend thing? Because yeah, I mean, even if it's a friend thing, you know, I wouldn't want my friend to be going home at 3 a.m. unless they literally live right next to me. So be like, hey, listen, I'll sleep on the floor. You can sleep in the bed or whatever, but I mean, don't be going home at 3 a.m. Like, that's a bit mad, you know? But yeah, it's one of those things. I think the best bet is actually just to ask. She's with you until 3 a.m. She's either into you or trying to control you. You can't, there's unless someone is very explicit with it, you can't assume what a certain behavior means. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that her staying with 3 a.m. means she's into you. So you gotta ask. And into you romantically, that's what it is. Like, you can just like hanging out with someone. That's what a friend is. It's someone you want to hang out with, you know? So it's one of those things. If you're questioning this romantic thing, you have to like put that on the table, which can be scary and it can change the dynamic of the relationship. But if you are actually really into someone, then the dynamic is already off, because it's already not a friendship. It's a friend who wants something more, and then friend. So that's already off. So you kind of just got to pull the cord. Otherwise, you're just going to have that thing where, let's say she's not into you, but you're into her. And then you just decide that you're going to be friends without ever expressing that. There's always going to be a part of you that's like, what if I said something? At least if you say something, she'll be like, okay, he's into me. It doesn't have to end the friendship, to be honest. It can, but it doesn't have to. So yeah, Kevin's saying this is people trying to see my face on mobile when I'm like in the shrunken screen. Oh man, what response am I on? That was response 92. So yeah, we're gonna see what else we have. Okay, one of the artists having some got ladies on the mind. Got ladies on the mind saying, also, one of the artists again, what are your thoughts on flirting with people as you like their attention and interest, even though you don't have an intention of going out or sleeping with them? Currently flirting with some girls and have no intent for it to go anywhere, and I have split feelings. What are your thoughts? Flirting can just be... Yeah, I did skip multiple questions because, you know, there's a lot of rubbish in there. But, yeah, no, flirting can be just an act of interaction, to be honest. It can be like, you know, roasting or just joking around. Flirting can be like that. I think what you never want to do is lead someone on. So you want to try and make sure you're on the same page, that you're kind of joking around with the flirting, and that it's not really serious. You don't want to like overdo it to the point where, oh, a person thinks you are actually interested in them, and then it turns out you're not. You were just playing around. If that happens, you got to make it clear, like, oh, I'm just a flirty person. Because there are people like that. There are people who are just flirty. Like, they'll just you know. And I mean, I'm trying to think of an example of like what a flirty person could be like, because I'm not a flirty person at all. But you know, maybe stuff like kind of complimenting them, making slight innuendos, as long as it's nothing like too inappropriate and that'll make them uncomfortable, because you don't want to be a creep. But you know, if you have a bit of a flirty personality and they're reciprocal to it, you gotta just make sure that you both know it's just jokes. And that's kind of a nuance of social interaction that you just have to know how to do, you know. And I'm assuming you do know how to do that, since you're saying with some girls, you're doing it with multiple people. I wouldn't feel too bad about it as long as you're not leading anyone on. That's my thoughts on that. Does anyone have anything to say about this? Simi should be the last person to ask for flirting tips. I mean, these weren't really flirting tips. This is more about the morality of it. So I can at least answer that, I think. I struggle to socialize, never mind flirt. Oh my god, why is it so hard? Can you do the remainders on this stream? I mean, this whole stream is not a therapist, so I'm gonna be going through as many of them as I can. So yeah. Martin Lewis is on a break, so I've come back for more questions. Martin Lewis, is that the money saving expert guy? It is. Oh my god, it is the money saving expert guy. What do you mean he's on break? Is he streaming right now? Like, what do you mean? We need to know Simi's body count. No, you do not. Visual shame saying that's 100% leading on. Wait, you think flirting automatically is 100% leading on? I disagree. I know some people just have flirty personalities and they're not actually into anyone. So yeah, no, I don't think so. It's an ITV show all about the money issues and announcements. Okay, right. That's fair. Yeah, no, like especially with like the bills going up in October, right? It's gonna be crazy. I actually don't know what's gonna happen, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. This man has gone to 0 dates and not for lack of trying. Bruh. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Okay. Let's see this. I feel like I'm not allowed to be in my friendship group as I'm the only person that is stupid. I mean, this is where this negative self-talk comes in. I would never call, even if you don't perform super well in exams, I wouldn't call yourself stupid. I'm now in sixth form, so it's kind of alright. But the thing is, during GCSEs, I felt out of place because I didn't really get as good grades with my friends as my friends, so I don't know what to do. A friendship group doesn't have to be based on intelligence. Now, there is a sort of natural thing where naturally you're gonna hang out with people that are, you know, around your level of intelligence, just because it's gonna be easier to have conversations with people on your wavelength, right? But I don't think your performance in exams is something that should determine whether someone wants to be friends with you. I can understand the feeling of being the odd one out. You know, you feel like your friends are so smart and you're the one who isn't, and so maybe you feel a sense of inferiority there. But it really depends on the friendship group. Like, if you've actually got a good group of friends who appreciate your company, like friendship is all about appreciating people's company, right? If they appreciate your company, it shouldn't be a thing where it's like, okay, what'd you get in maths GCSE, man? You got a 5, yeah? You can't hang out, bro. Like, no, it's one of those things. You're gonna hang out with people because you just like being with them. You say you feel like you're not allowed to be in your friendship group. Is that a result of them? Are they actually making you feel like the odd one out? Because if they are, then they're not being good friends. But if you think it might be more so a personal feeling that you have, I don't want to just say you shouldn't feel that way, because obviously how you feel is how you feel. But I would try not to internalize that too much. Oftentimes it can be about just kind of your mindset and your attitude towards school as well. Like you can hang out with people who have the same attitude, and that's there's way more to what people have in common than just how academically gifted they are, is what I'm saying. So there are loads of reasons that you can be friends with someone and want to hang out with someone. So as long as they're not making you feel out of place themselves, I would try not to make myself feel out of place in that sense. Like if they're your friends, surely you have more in common than just how well you do in exams. Otherwise, everyone that performs well would always just be hanging out with each other, and that doesn't always happen. Like sometimes, the top performers in the school don't hang out with each other, and same thing with people who don't perform as well. They all have their different friendship groups, because there's more to it than just how smart you are. This is way too relatable. If your friends are real ones, they wouldn't really care unless it affects their results, if you get what I mean. Unless it affects, maybe if you're doing a group project, I suppose. Where's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth form? Well, that's like years 1 to 11, because you have key stage 1, which is, I'm not going to explain it, but sixth form is a play on that. It's sort of a dated term, but sixth form stuck around. We don't call it first, second, third, fourth, fifth form anymore, but sixth form stuck around. Or stuck around. I measure my social status by the amount of times I've watched Breaking Bad. I'm guessing that's what BRBD stands for. I'm not sure if it is, but that was my guess. What can you do, bro? It's just because what can you do, bro? It's just because people get a higher score doesn't mean they are smarter. To be honest, life isn't about being the smartest guy in the room. 90% of the time, it's about who you are. Such a saying, was this about not being part of the group as you're not intellectual as your friend? Yeah, that's what this was in response to. That was yours. I had a feeling, Sachin. I had a feeling, because you've expressed similarly in the chat before. So hopefully that helped. If you missed it, you're gonna have to catch in the VOD, mate. But I hope it helps. Why am I obsessed with croissants? Croissants are delicious. I love croissants. That's no problem. Just don't eat too much, because it's not healthy. Damn, Sachin, you submitted a lot. Okay, let's see. I feel I'm a people pleaser. How do I say no? This is very important. The power of saying no. We are currently on dilemma 98. The power of saying no is very important. It's very important. I used to say yes to a lot because I wanted to be a kind, nice person, and I felt like saying no would mean I wasn't being very nice. I thought it was not good of me to say no. But the thing is, when you never say no, that means you're never setting up boundaries for yourself. You're never defending yourself. Anyone could ask you to do anything and you would say yes to it. Saying no is a way of putting up your own boundaries and respecting yourself. If someone has asked you to do something that you don't want to do and you say yes to it, you have just disrespected yourself, because you know how you feel about the thing, but you've decided how they feel is more important. So being able to say no is very important. There's a phrase I've seen. It's sort of a visual phrase. It's when you say no to something, you say yes to yourself. Back of your hand represents the yes, front palm represents the no. So when you say no to something, you say yes to yourself. it's important to have those boundaries in place. This is something I've had to learn. One, I had to learn it in school because I was often asked to do a lot of things, and because I was very much interested in, being a people pleaser, as well as, making sure that the teachers liked me. I really, when I was younger, I really wanted my teachers to like me. I think when I was younger, I liked getting any sort of approval from adults because it made me feel mature, right? It's like, oh, these adults think I'm cool. Yes. As I got into later on in, I would say around sixth form, and I had a lot of responsibility and a lot of things on my shoulders. And in year 13 I was head boy as well, so I had a lot of stuff to do. Some teachers would ask me to do stuff and I'd actually be like, you know what? No. Actually, I'm not gonna do that, actually. And the reason I had to do that is because I was so busy. It's like, I actually can't do this. And it's not like I physically couldn't. I could do it, but it's like, I actually need time to relax. I'm working a lot right now, so I can't say yes to you. And when you say no to someone, they can actually, they can try and pressure you. They'll be like, oh, you're not gonna do it, but I thought you were blah blah blah. They might try and make you feel bad, but you gotta stick your ground. You gotta be like, you gotta remind yourself why you're saying no, and you gotta be like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Another time. In fact, don't even say another time. A lot of people, and this isn't even specifically related to the idea of being a people pleaser. This is just related to the idea of saying no. A lot of people, when they want to reject something, don't say no. They say, let's say someone has asked you to help them out with something and you don't want to do it. All right, you don't have to give a reason, but you don't want to do it, right? A lot of people say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy that day, or I have this thing. They'll make a lie. They'll say they're doing something, or they'll say, oof, you know what? Maybe I can do it another time. Or they'll say everything except no. And the most important thing to say first, before you add all of the politeness and all of the fluff, the first thing to say is no. So it's very clear. You're not saying later. You're not saying under different conditions. You're not saying when I'm in a different mood. You're saying it's not happening. And then you add on whatever fluff you want to. But you have to make it very clear your answer is no. All right? That's a problem a lot of people get themselves into. And I'll give the specific example as well of, like, let's say you're asked out by someone and you don't want to go out with them. And I use this example because it's very common. People will be like, oh, I'm just in a really busy period of my life right now. What that tells them is, okay, let me give it some time. Let me wait for things to calm down. And then I'll ask you. It's like, no, just say, no, thank you for asking though. And you don't have to give a reason. This is a thing that a lot of people struggle with. They feel like they have to have a reason for why they said no. You don't have to have a reason. Who is this person? Are they the police? Like, I mean, to be honest, you don't even need to give a reason to the police. Call Better Call Saul, man. Call your freaking lawyer. Like, yeah, it's important to know how to say no, because if you don't ever say no, you'll get taken advantage of by your freaking self. To be honest, you're just gonna straight up disrespect yourself. You need to learn how to say no. Please, can you stop throwing all my things on the ground and setting them on fire? Say no. Martin Lewis has finished, and boy, that man has a way of making money sound easy. Nice, man. Nice. Hell yeah. Shout out to Martin Lewis. Instructions unclear, currently in detention after saying no to a teacher. I found the power of saying no, and it was the best thing that ever happened. Saying no means you have some power over your decisions, and people are less likely to take advantage of your good nature. Yes, that is important. Let's see. You were head boy of your safe form? Yeah, I was. Click, welcome to the stream. Happy to see you in here. Being too kind can be dangerous. Yep. It can be. Never be an asshole. I don't think you should ever be just like an asshole to people, and I think you should always be polite, and I think you should be cordial, right? But in doing that, don't then disrespect your own boundaries, you know? That's just important. Click, I'm going through all of them in order, so it just depends on a timing thing if we get to yours, but now that you put it in there, eventually we'll get through it. We're doing Law Therapist every Thursday, so if it's not today, it'll likely be next week. Posture check by Oski. Alright, wasn't happy with the way I was sitting, apparently. We'll see. Ugh. Okay, let's keep going. How does someone become proud of their achievements? I sometimes find it hard to be proud of my achievements despite them actually being good. I understand. Yeah. It can be a tricky thing, actually. It can be a tricky thing. And the reason this is tricky for me is because, you know, I've often had experiences where I achieved something and I wasn't that proud of it, actually. And it's not because it wasn't a good achievement, but it was just like, actually, I don't really care that much. Here's what I'd say, right? Feeling pride, not feeling pride, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. But it can be an indicator of what your values are. And I give an example. When I like reached 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I was like, wow, I did it. Let's freaking go. But I wasn't all that excited about it. I wasn't all that hyped about it. This is actually something I discuss further in my upcoming members video about my, 5 years as a full-time YouTuber. And, part of that was because, I had a lot of stresses happening at the time, which meant I was struggling to enjoy anything at the time. But another part of it was I was not so interested in the metrics, like how many subscribers I was. I got far more enjoyment out of making a video I was proud of. That is where my real passion came from. Seeing the number reach 100,000 didn't do much for me. So sometimes it can be a thing of the achievement is nice, but it's not where you derive the value from. You derive the value from the process of reaching the achievement. And that's a totally fine thing. I mean, that's actually a better way to be. Simply because, when you're focused on process rather than results, it means you're going to do better work and you're going to be more motivated for a longer period of time. Now, if you like achieve things and you never give yourself props, because there's a difference between just having that internal feeling of pride, but then having the feeling of, well, I might not feel particularly much, but I acknowledge that I've achieved this thing and I won't downplay it. It's easy to downplay what you've done. But we live in a world where you gotta freaking big yourself up. If you're ever trying to present yourself to someone like a job interview, or if you're in a position where you have to talk about yourself, don't downplay what you've achieved. Don't be a dickhead about it. Don't be like, oh bro, I got 400,000 subscribers. Yeah, most people don't have that. Honestly, it's light work. It's easy. But, don't downplay it. Don't be like, I got a few subscribers. If someone asks, be like, yeah, I got 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. I worked hard for a long time for it. And I'm proud that I got that. Like, don't downplay yourself. Don't downplay yourself. Storm saying be humble. Yeah. Like, there's an issue where a lot of people think that humility means never actually being happy with yourself. And it's not true. You can be happy with yourself. You can believe in yourself. You can have confidence. And you can do that without being an asshole about it. So yeah. But as far as how do you become proud of your achievements, oftentimes in hindsight, things will hit you, like I said, when I reached 100,000 subscribers, I was kind of like, oh, okay, cool. But now I look at my silver plaque behind my camera and I'm like, I worked for that for a really long time, and I did it. And I'm proud of myself. In hindsight, the pride can come. In hindsight, the pride can come. I would say don't rush to check if you're feeling a certain way when you accomplish something, and don't then make yourself feel bad for not feeling a certain way. Like, your feelings are your feelings, your emotions are your emotions. Don't overly concern yourself with feeling the correct ones. Just be present in yourself and recognize, all right, this is how I'm feeling now. All right, it is what it is, you know. You don't want to overly police your emotions. Did I talk about Donkey's publishing company? Yeah, I didn't. Yo, I saw Donkey's video about Big Mode. I feel like he's the perfect person to run an indie studio publisher, or an indie game publisher. And I think he has the right amount of passion for it. And for me, it always makes me excited to see creators branching out and making things that fit so well with what they do. Like Donkey with an indie game publishing company, like that makes so much sense. And I'm wishing him the best of luck, because it's not going to be easy. Working in the games industry as like a game creator is really hard to do. And I just wish him the absolute best of luck with it, honestly. His video was really nice. I appreciated his video. And yo, if you want an example of how to big yourself up without being an asshole about it, watch Donkey's newest video on his indie game publishing video, because he does it very well. He's essentially giving his credentials and why he should be trusted to publish an indie game for, you know, potential clients. So it's really good. I've been watching Donkey for years, and I'm really proud of him, honestly. And the fact he's doing it with Leia as well, his wife, who he's been with for a long time. It's great. It's great. So that's why I posted that tweet. I saw it in the morning, and I was just like, dude, this is what I love to see. I had to share it. I'm wishing Donkey the best of luck with Big Mode, honestly. Simi has no subscribers. He bought all of them from illegalwebsite.com. I kind of respect people who are dickheads about their skills and stuff, but can back it up easily. Like, those people are awesome. I mean, you have the people who are cocky, right? And they can back it up, but, you know, I would just take a different approach. Isn't Leia the woman from Futurama? What on earth, man? Let's see what we got. Wow, I didn't expect to get a question like this, but sure. Let's see. How do I deal with my boyfriend being at home all the time, meaning I have almost no alone time at home? We live together. He's an extreme homebody while I am out doing stuff after work all the time. So I'm guessing, and saying love your stuff to me. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I'm guessing that you are feeling kind of smothered. It's like sometimes you want to just be alone at home, but your boyfriend's there. That's a bit of a tough one. And you're saying he's an extreme homebody. He never like goes out. It's a bit of a tough one, you know, because it's like you've agreed to live together, obviously. He's a homebody, so he doesn't have to leave his home. Like he can be at home as much as he wants, but you want that alone time at home. I think your best bet is to pursue that alone time outside of home, or be like, hey, I'm gonna be hanging out in this room. I just need some alone time. You know what I mean? So don't come into the room. Let me just chill on my own. You can, depending on the setup of your home, you can be like separate and alone, but still inside. Well, yeah, I can understand wanting time to yourself, you know, because I like being alone in my space. I like that a lot. And if I always had to have someone in my space, I'd be a bit like, I need you to leave. So I get that. But yeah, I think the best bet might actually just be having like going to a room and being like, I'm hanging out here by myself for a bit, and expressing that to your boyfriend. I mean, it's a mature thing to understand that a person, even, you know, the love of your life, whatever, right, would still want time where they are by themselves, right? It's a completely understandable thing. And so I think if you express that, that's fair. But you say he's a homebody, you can't really make him leave. And that wouldn't even be cool, because he doesn't have to leave. It's his home too as well, you know? So yeah, I would just express that you want that alone time. And so sometimes you're just going to be hanging out in the living room or whatever, or you're going to be hanging out in the bedroom, and you want to be alone for a bit. And that's what it is. And if that isn't an option, then you might want to go elsewhere for your alone time. Although that can be hard, because obviously alone time doesn't necessarily mean you just want to be separate from your boyfriend. It means you want to be alone, and it can be hard to find a place where you're actually alone completely. I get it, but that's my thoughts on that. That is an interesting one. Honestly. So yeah, best of luck with the situation. I feel like with a lot of this stuff, communicating how you feel and what you want goes a long way. So best of luck with that. Let's see what else anyone was saying. What number dilemma we on that one? 102. Since when do girls watch Simi? I have glass in my eyes saying, did you just assume their gender? This is true. If you don't like their presence, dump him. Well, that's not what this person said. That's not what this person said at all. They said they want alone time. They didn't say they don't like their presence. Will you play the new Deathloop content? Probably not, but you might. There's not enough new content to bring me back. I'd only come back for the multiplayer, and I don't crave playing the multiplayer that much. So probably not. If you live in an apartment, keep him on the roof. Scone Pro, thanks for the hydrate. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Did that catch on camera? Spilled some of my water. That's what happens when you drink out of a freaking flask. Oh, RJ. I see you've added a V2 to your name. Okay, let's go. I'm super scared of war and keep imagining a nuclear bomb dropping on my city. You know, I'm taking this one seriously, because I think, you know, I've had times where I would get like vivid imagery of just catastrophe in my mind. It happened a lot when I was younger. And it's understandable, you know, like obviously war is a constant in the world, you know. Some country or another is at war at any point in time, even civil wars. And the nuclear bomb being dropped, or a nuclear bomb being dropped, is not something that has not happened before. So, you know, it can feel like irrational fear, but you have at least reason for that imagery and those thoughts to be in your mind. It's possible to get into thought loops, and that can be a result of anxiety, where you just have this kind of underlying anxiety that is just consistent in giving you these thoughts. It's a tough one to deal with. I think trying to rationalize it to yourself might be the best bet, but also I think it may also be worth actually like speaking to someone about it too, because the fears we have can be debilitating sometimes, and when they're like that, they should be addressed properly. But if we're just talking about how I would think about it, or what I think I would do were I going through this, I would try to rationalize it to myself. I'd be like, well, wars are happening. I mean, it depends on where you're living. I'll take stock of where I'm living. How likely is that to happen? You know, this is going to get into, what's it called? Like technical territory, but you know, a nuclear bomb being dropped on a country would trigger a nuclear war. It'd be mutually assured destruction. The world would end. And so it's very unlikely to happen as a result. And if it did happen, the whole world would end. And so I wouldn't have to worry about it anyway, which is terrible. But that's how I would think about it. And, you know, for me, and this is the attitude I have for a lot of things, is if it's something I have control over, then I will deal with the problem. If it's something I don't have control over, then I will let go. I don't have control over what happens with war and nuclear arms. So I'm gonna let go of it. Hey, it's worrying. Of course it's worrying. It's worrying for everybody. There's nothing I can do. I'm just gonna leave it. And I'm a focus on other things, and I'm gonna move on with my life, basically. It's not easy. It's not easy to do if these are consistent thoughts you have. But that's the attitude I take with a lot of things that are worrying and out of control. I remember when I was younger, there was the swine flu, like, I don't know what you'd call it. Swine flu, like, became a thing when I was in primary school. And I remember being super scared. And my sister told me, like, hey, listen, of course it's scary, but you're gonna be fine. Like, it's not, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen, you know? And there was no like, she was just saying, hey, listen, it's gonna be fine. And then it was fine. And then you have the next one, which I can't remember what the next one was. There was one before Ebola, but Ebola happens. And I essentially, one of my friends, he was like, yo, dude, I'm actually like really worried about this Ebola stuff. And I told him, hey man, listen, it's gonna be fine. Like, nothing's gonna happen. And that's not to deny the impacts that it had, but I'm talking him specifically, you know, where he was sitting right then. I'm like, listen, bro, if you think about it statistically, you're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. And it's not the kind of advice that is particularly helpful for a particular reason, but it's one of those things where you don't want to blow up a situation more than it really is in your mind. Oftentimes when you constantly are looking and consuming media about catastrophe as well, it will make it seem far closer than it really is. So stepping away from that can help too. That's my advice for that. I mean, does anyone else have something to say? RJ, no worries, we'll catch you in a bit. The British slang Butch uses in boys is so cringe. Bruh. All they have to do is find a Preston and destroy the Institute? Huh? You had control over stopping the impossible quiz. Storm saying stoicism. You're basically saying if you were to get shot to death, you wouldn't care since you would be dead. No. That's different. That's different, because if you get shot, you die, but the world keeps going. I'm saying if the world ends, there's nothing left. You know, part of a big fear of dying for a lot of people is not their life ending. That's a big part of it, but another big part of it is what gets left behind. What could have been of their life, their family, their friends. That's where the fear of dying largely comes from as well. But if the entire world ends, there's nothing left. Like, it's over. After saying, bro, I'm dying, please make some vids. I'm always making vids. Don't worry. The next one will be there in due time. I do appreciate you coming through. Yeah. What number are we on? That was 103. That was 103. Let's see what else we got. This one is yeah, deep as well. How does one cope with the constant doom and gloom about the world? How do you cope? Yeah, no, like, honestly, things often just sound terrible, you know? Like, terrible. Like, you have bills rising, you have global warming, you have You know, billionaires getting richer and not helping anybody. You have evil people doing evil things. You know, I'm currently watching Dope Sick, which is all about how the Sackler family ruined the lives of millions of people by selling their OxyContin drug. And they knew it was killing people and getting people addicted and a gateway drug to heroin and fentanyl. And they did it because it made them rich. And then you see that stuff and it's like, bro, what is this? Like, why is everything so trash? What is the point of like doing this? But you also got to remember, there's always a flip side. There's actually a lot of good happening. There's a lot of good people out there. And life often is a constant battle between people trying to do what they think is right and people trying to do what they think is right. I mean, when it comes to the idea of evil, right? No one thinks they're evil. I mean, very few people think they're evil. But it's that constant fight, and that's just like life. That's how life is. So, you know, there's doom and gloom about the world, and you have to find your way to be a light in that, however that is for you. And it doesn't mean you have a responsibility to fix the world. No one has a responsibility to fix the world. You just do the best you can with what you have. And even if that means living a life that you like and not hurting people, that's important. If the life you like is hurting people, don't freaking do that. But if that just means living your life, then that is what is important. This is something that I've struggled with a lot. Storm saying humans are a disgusting species. I mean, sure, but they're also a beautiful species, you know? I wouldn't just end it at disgusting species, because there's a lot of beauty that comes from the human race as well. But yeah, like you ask, how do I cope? I mean, I've had conversations literally like in the last few months about this very thing, you know, saying, you know, I remember speaking to my sister, asking her like, hey, freaking, I look at everything that's happening, and you guys hear me talk about the energy crisis a lot as well. And I'm like, people can't afford to heat their homes. Winter is coming up and nothing's being done about it. And it's like, no one's paying attention. It feels like no one's paying attention. And then you see all this stuff. There's all sorts of things. And then you have people actively trying to make these things worse. People who are happy that things are getting worse because it makes them richer. And, you know, it's very like, how do you know, I feel like I'm powerless to actually do anything significant that could help. I was feeling this way. And my sister was like, I mean, she said what I'm saying to you. She's like, listen, you can make your own change in your own way, but you're not going to change the world. So it's not going to be helpful for you to be wallowing because you feel hopeless. That actually doesn't help either. The best thing you can do is just try to live your life and have a positive impact in the ways you can have it, you know? And it might not be satisfying because we're used to narratives of heroes and, you know, the one person that changes everything. But that's not ever how life works. There's never one person that changes everything. Change is gradual. Things get better over time. Things get worse over time. There's progress and then there's regression, right? That's just the nature of life. And your job in life is to live. Like that is your job. You don't have to do anything. You're just here to live, right? Just on a basic biological standpoint. So it might not be a satisfying answer, but it's like, you gotta live your life, man. I guess that's what I'd say. If you can find something that matters to you, something you care about, something you like putting your energy into. For example, with me, it's like, you know, Tamago 24/7 for it. You know, that's been my passion project for years. I like working on that. And I like that I can do good things with it. Even if the good things you do with it are just, you know, helping out your family, right? You don't have this responsibility to change the world. So just do what you can. Does anyone have... Let me see what people are saying. Simi is such a beautiful specimen that he drives up the average, so humans are okay. Bruh. This just seems very wise. She is. She is. See, my sister sounds so smart. She is. She is. And I'm pretty sure she's gonna listen to this. So she's definitely like, yeah. Oh man. Jesus was one person. Yeah, Jesus was one person. You're right. You're right. Are you sure your upload schedule says otherwise? Excuse me. Excuse me. Bruh. I was just playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm addicted to that game at the moment. Nice one, man. Enjoy, enjoy. All right, cool. Let's see what else we have. My friend puts cream on the scone first, then jam. How do I make them do it the right way? Jam first, then cream. You gotta let your friend do things the way your friend wants to do it. Dude, I had a burp in there. I'm sorry. You gotta let your friend do things the way your friend wants to do it, you know? If your friend wants to put the milk before the cereal, you gotta let them do that. If your friend wants to, what other things are there? I don't know what other examples of that there are, but however they want to prepare their food is how they want to prepare their food, and you're not right to tell them they're wrong for how they want to prepare their food, unless it's actually unhygienic and unsafe. Then yeah, you should give them pointers. But otherwise, hey, they like doing it that way, let them do it that way. Let them do it that way. I didn't know scones were literally just biscuits. Yeah, you guys call scones biscuits, and it's very weird to us in, you know, everywhere else in the world, because it's like, how is that a biscuit, bro? I remember the first time. I was in the New York airport on a connecting flight to Chicago. And I was at Popeye's Chicken. There was a Popeye's Chicken stand. And the lady was like, would you like biscuits with that? And I was like, who the flip gets fried chicken with biscuits? That makes no sense. That was so confusing, because I was thinking like rich tea or digestives. So when she said, would you like biscuits with that? I was like, no, thank you. Come to find out, biscuits are scones, which is still weird to me. Who wants scones with fried chicken? But you guys call it biscuits. I find it very odd. I find it very odd. I'm not gonna lie. Who gets fried chicken with scones? Either, yeah, exactly. The hell are scones? Scones are like this, would you describe them as a pastry? I don't know. I don't know if you describe scones as a pastry. What would you describe them as? It's a baked good. I guess that's the best way. It's a baked good. Usually made of either wheat or oatmeal with some baking powder as a leavening agent. These are scones. These are scones. Yeah. Or biscuits, as the Americans like to call it. There's that clip of that TikToker who's like, wait, these are literally just scones. These Americans be like, it's biscuits. There's no correct way to pronounce scone. Hey, scone, scone, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Oh crap, wait. This is an update on last week's query about the dude who was at a girl's house at 9 p.m. Forgot to say she's taken now. Can't get over her since I like her so much. If she's taken, you have to move on. Obviously, that feeling is gonna be there, but she's taken. It's over. It's over. It's game over. Like, you know, don't be continuing to try to pursue her. Don't be stalking her on Instagram. She's taken, and you clearly are not interested in a friendship with her. You need to just leave it. You need to just leave it straight up. That's my that's what I'd say to that. Otherwise, you're just torturing yourself, and it will like negatively impact your interactions, I think. What do you call cookies? What do you mean, what do we call cookies? We call cookies cookies. A cookie is a type of biscuit. Yeah, usually the ones with chocolate chips in them. Simi, you mean follow your dreams, chase the girl. Cookie equals Maryland. Yeah, basically what I have glass in my eyes is saying. Okay, let's see this. What to do when you don't have the same energy as you had a year ago and not being the same person as you were a few months ago. I'm not as funny as I was, is what I'm saying. Can you help me with what to do? Okay, so over time, you're never going to be at a constant where you're the same way forever, you know? Now, there's a lot of things that can contribute to you feeling lower on energy, feeling like you're not as funny, you know. At times when I felt like this, and I have felt like this many times, honestly, when I'm really excited to post that 5 years on YouTube series, because it's going to be 3 videos. Each of them, first 2 are an hour long each, last one is 40 minutes. It's going to be available for the members. Lowest tier members can see it, but I actually go over my whole experience within those last 5 years, and a lot of it is about the you know, my mental health struggle I had over the last 5 years as well, right? But it's something that happens, and it can often be as a result of circumstances in your life that maybe you don't realize at the time but become clear in hindsight. Or it can just be that you're hey, maybe you're depressed. It's an option, it could be a thing. Or maybe it's just part of the peaks and valleys of the emotions of life. It just happens, you know. It's natural to kind of miss/mourn who you used to be, but always remember that you're an ever-changing person, and you're never gonna go back to who you were before, but it doesn't mean you can't get better and be better in the future. I would say, you know, you feel like you lack energy, specifically tackling the energy thing. There are a lot of reasons why that could be, so I don't want to say anything specific, but on a fundamental basis, you want to make sure you're feeding yourself, staying active in some capacity. It can be hard when you don't have the energy. It's crazy, right? You need to stay active to retain your energy, but you don't have the energy to be active. So it's this kind of thing where it's a catch-22, right? And it can be hard to look after yourself when you're feeling low energy, when you're feeling down on yourself, when you're feeling not as funny as you used to be. But it's important in these moments, especially, to take care of yourself. Especially, you know, you need to treat yourself like someone you're looking after, you know, because you can get better. You can get better. It happens over time. I don't know the details of the situation, and so there are certain things that a person in one situation could do that could help in particular. Maybe you're going through something where you need therapy, or maybe you're going through a personal thing that's just going you down. It's hard to say, but I wouldn't put myself down for not being who I used to be. You know, you're gonna change. Your energy levels will change. Sometimes they'll be higher, sometimes they'll be lower. What you consider as your personality will change, and even something like feeling like, you know, it's funny. I felt like that before. It's like, damn, bro, I kind of don't want to say anything, you know. I don't want to say anything. I don't feel like being funny, you know, and that's fine. It happens. Try to make sure you have people to talk to, regardless of that, and understand that you still have value even if you feel like you're not the same as you were before. Like, you intrinsically have value, you know, and you have to believe that. Yeah, you just have to believe that. This is a dilemma, but I want you to know that it's something that people go through. I've been through it, and it's not something you go through once. It can happen over and over again, but it gets better. It gets better. Yeah, that's what I'd say for that. Let's see what other people are saying. Let's see. Tamago 24/7 does not promote recreational drug use. I do not. I do not. Just change your personality. Do stuff that actually benefits your life, which will give you more confidence, you know. I mean, okay, do stuff that benefits your life and will give you more confidence, yeah. Just change your personality. I mean, it's not like a slider on a freaking, you know, RPG where you get to just choose the aspects, right? Like, your personality is kind of like determined intrinsically, in a sense. You can choose that maybe there are aspects of the way you behave that you want to change. I guess personality in itself can be a bit of a fuzzy idea, but I wouldn't want someone to think that they have the wrong personality. they should change it, you know. Let's see. I went from someone serious to a clown within 3 years, and I'm proud of that. I really just had a personality switch. That happens. If you don't feel funny enough, put on clown makeup and clothes and perform a show from a circus to all your friends. My advice, train muscles and joints. Go to the gym, alright? To be fair, you do not have to be a funny person. Some people just aren't funny, and that's fine. Yeah, there's no pressure to be funny. I think when this person says I'm not as funny as they was, it comes more so from a place of they felt like they were probably more bubbly, more willing to make jokes, more they felt like their sense of humor was better. You know, I'm assuming they're not like a stand-up comedian who's like, damn it, my career is over. So yeah, so I can understand that feeling. And it's natural to kind of miss that. Like, oh, I used to be more, you know, fun, and I don't feel like I'm as fun anymore. But there are periods of life where it's just like that, and again, it can be affected by so many things, which is why without details it's hard to say anything in particular. But just know that when you address certain things can get better. And even when basically you gotta tackle how you're feeling. Don't try to power through it. Actually, like, investigate, like, okay, what might be contributing to this, and try and work on that. Yeah. You don't need to be funny to be likable. Absolutely. For example, you guys, you know, none of you are funny, like, so oh, but I don't like you either, so that doesn't add up. Never mind. Man, this ain't biasing me. Negative 50 viewers. It's over. Stream's over, people. I'm sorry. Bye. I'm sorry. So I've never laughed at one of your videos. Thank you, Tom again. Thank you. Oh man, I hate the feeling making some good jokes, but I can't live up to those inside jokes and try to force jokes too often. You know, having awkward joking interactions happens. It happens, man. It happens. Are you saying someone made a good joke and it's like you try to like add to it, it doesn't really work out? It happens. Don't worry too much about it. I paid £65 to get diagnosed because I didn't want to wait 2 months for an appointment at a public hospital. That's fair. These things can take so long, honestly. It takes so long, so it can happen. I find that very offensive, Simi. Yeah, me saying you guys aren't funny. Yeah, sorry. Simi's gonna lose his whole income at this point. Everyone's unsubbing and unmembering. Bro, the type to laugh at his own jokes. Of course, man. If you don't laugh at your own jokes, who's gonna laugh at him, man? Every time I watch a Tamago video, I go back in time and stop myself from laughing at something random. So you admit you laughed. Thanks. I'm just too funny. When other people don't laugh, it's because they're idiot dummies. I may be like legit evil for this, but I really enjoy whenever I have an inside joke with friends and someone new comes and has no idea, bro. Analytics be popping for people in Australia. Analytics be popping? What do you mean? Oh, Grape Dino. Yeah, thanks for the stretch. I forgot. Let me do that. All right. Oh god. My back, man. Oh my god, dude. I actually feel like an old man whenever I bring it up. It's crazy. Okay. Ugh. 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 Flipping out. Ugh. 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 All right. There we go. There we go. Australia got bought by McDonald's. Okay. So they can also do McDonald's in the outback. Of course, of course. Doggy, thanks for redeeming Hydrate. A bit too revealing, not gonna lie. I'm sorry, dude. I wore the freaking jogging bombs today. I'm sorry. Oh, man. You're an old man, Simi. You can't run from the truth anymore. Just admit it. Stop lying. I'm actually 53 years old. I'm 53. The hydrate was intended so you drown. Oh. Alright, didn't quite work. Sorry. Sorry. Alright, let's see. I don't know what to say to this, man. Oh, God. Okay. Listen, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to offer advice on this. I'm not gonna lie, but let's look at it anyway. At the start of the year, I started dating my best friend's sister. He took issue with it because she's autistic and he thinks I'm taking advantage of her. And he also told a mutual friend that he was going to ask me out. I stopped. That he was going to ask me out? Like he wanted to ask you out, like on a date? Okay. I stopped talking to him, but now because of that, I'm distanced from a lot of our mutual friends and certain members of family. My girlfriend doesn't need specialized care or anything like that. She's perfectly capable of thinking for herself and making her own decisions, but her brother thinks I'm a terrible person now. We moved in together and now have ableist neighbors, and it feels like the world is telling me to stop, and I don't know what to do. Listen, autism is a spectrum. You say she doesn't need specialized care or anything like that, perfectly capable of thinking for herself and making her own decisions. If that's the case, then it sounds like there's nothing wrong with the relationship. Now, the friend has taken issue. It might be also just because of the fact that it's weird to date your best friend's sister. It just is. Like it's one of those things. It's not like it's not like illegal or wrong or anything, but if someone's your best friend, it's like, oh, why are you dating my sister, man? But it happens. Maybe, and then there's also the aspect of, you know, his sister's autistic. Maybe he feels that she's prone to being taken advantage of, and you say he thinks you're taking advantage of her. I can't say much. Here because it really depends on the situation, you know. I have to take your word for it that you say she doesn't need specialized care, perfectly capable of thinking of herself and making her own decisions. On that, it's fine. It sounds fine to me. Her brother thinks you're a terrible person. You know, that's not great because you don't want to be dating someone and then their family doesn't like you, or their family thinks you're terrible. You don't want that. But it kind of is what it is. You say you've moved in together and you have ableist neighbors now, so I don't know what that means. Like, are they harassing you or something? Like, what are they doing? But yeah, that's it's an interesting situation, and that's why I had that reaction when I saw it, because I was like, how am I going to be able to offer, how could anyone offer advice for this who doesn't actually know you? I feel like this is such a thing where you need to actually, the person who can help you with this needs to know you, needs to know the sister, needs to know the best friend. A YouTuber from London cannot help with this situation. I'm sorry. Cannot help. Best of luck. Best of luck with that, though. They already moved in together. That's fast. At the start of this year. I mean, yeah, that is actually kind of fast. That is actually kind of fast. But hey, I mean, you never know. You never know. Mate, you can only ask God at this point. No. It's unwritten bro code that you don't date your mate's family. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Dating someone who's autistic doesn't mean you're taking advantage of them. Yeah, exactly. So it's it all depends. All depends on the actual details of the situation, which we don't have here. Bro's in the middle of his origin story. This is actually like a movie plot. It is that's an interesting, I didn't think I was gonna get dilemmas like that. That is a dilemma. I hope that ableism stops as well. I mean, that's not cool. That's not cool that you're experiencing that. That's an interesting situation. Wow. YouTubers are the opposite of therapists. Yeah, true. Yeah, YouTuber from any other city, that might be more helpful. YouTuber from France could help, yeah. I have glass in my eyes. I have glass in my eyes. I gotta do it in order. That's why it's just the fairest way for me to do it, to just do it in order. So I'm sorry if you needed the advice for tomorrow. I hope you can get the help that you need. I mean, Simi still lives at home, so I ask him what time is appropriate to move out. No, it's not about moving out. It's about moving in with someone. Like, it's like the idea of moving in with someone. It's not like moving out of home. That's not really the point. I'm about to pitch this as a film. We're gonna see a movie with Simi and Chen. Credits. Hot take, Simi. I hope that ableism stops. I hope that specific, I mean, obviously all ableism, I hope it stops. But I'm saying for them specifically, I hope it stops. But yeah, wow, what a situation. Best of luck, honestly, best of luck. Yo, you guys are down bad, man. Why? These are all relationship questions. What made you think I was the guy for this? Okay, there's this girl in my class and I really like talking to her, but she is picking a new subject. Her whole timetable will change. So I don't know if I can talk to her. I don't think I can text her on social media platforms because she might find me weird. So yeah, what do? You really like talking to her. I'm guessing you are romantically interested. I mean, because I'm guessing it's not just that, oh, I would like to continue talking. Like, no, you probably want something more, right? So you should just ask her if she'd be up to, like, you know, hang out, if she'd like to go on a date. Her timetable changing isn't really that big a deal, to be honest. Like, obviously her being in your class made it convenient for you to speak, but if you would like to continue speaking, she still goes to the same school, so you can still speak to her. You just have to make more of an effort and not just hope for you guys to bump into each other. You have to actually go to her and be like, hey, can we hang out? You're saying I don't think I can text on social media platforms because I think she might find me weird. Do you currently think she finds you weird, or do you think she would find you weird if you texted her on social media? Because if you think she currently finds you weird, then maybe that's a sign she doesn't like you back and you should probably back off, right? But if you think she would find it weird for you to text her, that makes me question, when you're talking, do you talk often, or is it like every once in a while you'll say something and she'll respond? Because if you're actually talking to someone, you messaging them on social media should be like nothing. It's like, oh yeah, you're the dude from school. All right, yeah, let's talk. But if you think they would be like, oh, why are you messaging me? Then maybe you're actually not that close, and you should gauge the relationship before you do that. So yeah, I think you need to make sure you understand what the dynamic is between you two. And if you think you're friends and you can talk, them changing class shouldn't be a problem. Like, I didn't share a class with like a lot of my, well, I say a lot of my, but like my best friend, I wasn't in a single class with him after year 11. And yeah, we talked all the time. You know what I mean? We were in a single class together and we talked all the time. So not sharing a class is not an excuse to not talk to someone if you're friends. So speak to them. Speak to them. Ask them if they're up for hanging out. I love how everyone is in secondary school. Yeah, I know, right? Well, this person might not necessarily be secondary school. They say picking a new subject. You don't get to pick subjects in secondary. Actually, for GCSEs you can. And it's the start of the year. Yeah, they could be in secondary school. Could also be in sixth form. Hey, who knows to me? Maybe this girl's like the kindest woman on earth. So, like, what do you mean? You put this on yourself to me when you told us about your antics of being a player in primary school. I was not a player. I may have mentioned a couple of things. I was not a player, bro. I was 8. Or 10. I don't know, whatever. I didn't have any classes with any of my friends except one. Yeah. His Mario saying so true. Yo, His Mario, what's up? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're currently on question 110. I think the only way she'll know that you like her is if you tell her outright, so the situation of how you talk to her doesn't really matter. Yeah, but it's also like, you know, it is a bit odd also to tell someone you like them when you don't speak that much. Now, you say you like talking to her, so I'm assuming you regularly speak, but that's something that you have to be very clear on. Do you actually regularly speak? You just want to make sure that you're perceiving it correctly. Yo, Trey, we'll catch you later, man. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you, bro. Anyone watching the Sidemen charity match? Does that happen on the weekend? Is that this weekend? I'm going to a wedding this weekend. Yo, I'm going to a freaking wedding this weekend. So, I probably will end up watching highlights afterwards, maybe. I mean, I don't really watch football, so I don't really be watching it if something actually happened during it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going into my 3rd year of uni, but I am super introverted. I've rarely gone in person for the last 2 years as I applied to study online and pretty much still don't know anyone, let alone made friends. Because of this, I think it will be pretty hard to fit in. Is there any advice you have for the situation? I know it's not the most relatable situation, but I appreciate the feedback anyway. Okay, so for this 3rd year, you're going to be actually going in, and I can understand why that would be tough because, you know, the first year is really where people in your year group get to know each other. Yeah, 2nd year, they've solidified those friendships. The 3rd year, a lot of people have already made their friends. So it's like you being the new person. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. If you want to make friends, oh my god, I think my mom's cooking with onions. I can feel my eyes burning. This is a unique situation. I think if you want to make friends, right? You say you're super introverted, so you know, regardless of if you're introverted, the way you make friends is that you've got to you've got to put yourself out there. Like, even as an introvert, you can do it. You've got to actually be willing to say hello, to introduce yourself, and be willing to go to hangout opportunities and even propose hangout opportunities. It's hard and it's scary when you consider yourself a very introverted person, but that is the only way you can make friends. You have to make friends. It's a verb, make. You have to actually do it, right? So you have to pitch yourself out there. Now you're going into a situation where you haven't been able to familiarize yourself with the people in your year group. In university, what year you're in doesn't matter that much. So feel free to make friends with people that are new to the uni, or make friends with 2nd years, or even people way above. I mean, people are different ages in uni regardless of what year they're in anyway, so I wouldn't let that limit you. You think it'll be hard to fit in? There will be a lot of things that you're not in the know about because you haven't been in the building. That being said, right, now that I think about it, it's 2022, so 2020 was the first year, so no one was in the building. 2021, things slowly started creeping back. You're probably going to have a shared experience with a lot of people who weren't physically in uni, right? So it's probably not gonna be as bad as you might think it is. You're gonna find some common ground with people. I think you will. I think you will find some common ground with people simply because of the fact that a lot of people were at home due to the pandemic. But yeah, no, you got to put yourself out there, and I mean, I think that's it. I think that's it. I if I can think of anything else, but I think that's what I'm on. Let's see. Others are generally interested in new people too. This is true. This is true. Other people are generally interested in meeting new people. So if they're like, oh, who is this person? You know, they might initiate a conversation. Not always necessarily, but they might. They might. Put yourself out there and connect. You've got a friend. Recover. What? Huh? In my opinion, the easiest way to make friends is just to act like you've always known them. That's similar to what Madeline was saying last week about how you have to like treat them like you're already friends. Not to say, oh hey, yeah, we met. No, don't lie and act like you freaking know them already. But you know, your behavior should be like someone that you're already cool with. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be like calling them nicknames when you don't even know them or whatever. But it's one of those things where you can become friends through acting like you're friends. So you support illegal experiments to artificially construct people, because I said make friends. Okay. I thought the best way to do it without it being awkward is to just join a conversation midway and just ease into it rather than ask to join it. Then you might be able to hang with people. That could work, but it could also be like, I can very easily imagine that being like, who are you? Who asked you? Who are you? That'd be weird if someone just bite into the conversation and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why? So yeah, no, that's something I'll think about too when people join my conversations. Oh man, Kevin, bro, it is what it is, man. To be honest, this isn't that late for me. Maybe it might be different families have different routines, innit? Listen to me, what are friends? People that you feel comfortable around and that feel comfortable around you and you enjoy each other's company. If you randomly join into a conversation with me and my friends, we are clowning on you so hard. Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily the best approach. Unless it's just an open forum where anyone can speak. But yeah, if you just randomly butt into people's conversations, I would have been like, excuse me? Nah, to be honest, it would just be a bit awkward. It'd be like, oh, yeah. But yeah, go for it anyway. Only if they're having like an open discussion or something, not what seems like an already built group. Right, okay, I get you, yeah. Just had to get my sister to fill in a map of Canada. Fill in a map of Canada? Like a map of Canada? Fill it in, like write the counties? I don't know what they call it, provinces? Yeah. Oh, help your sister. Oh, okay. So you were helping her, she wasn't helping you. Okay, I see. Can't wait to just join a conversation Simi is in. So jumping in mid-conversation could work because Simi does that a lot in chat. Thank you. All right. I have not seen Monsters University yet. I have not seen it yet. All right, we're gonna do one more Not a Therapist question. Let's try and find a good one. Let's see. Madeline, did you? No, that wasn't you. Because I remember that happened last time. Someone just wrote, "I'm Madeline." Okay. This is about like time management. Simi, real talk. Mama's jollof rice or your uncle's fried chicken? My uncle doesn't make fried chicken. I'm trying to think, do I have any uncle that makes fried chicken? Nah. So easy win there. Mama's jollof rice. But yeah, my life is kind of overflowing. I have college 4 days a week, boxing training 4 days a week, and 2 shifts a week in work. I'm 17, turning 18, and hopefully moving on to a degree after this school year. I find myself getting really stressed over things that I probably shouldn't be, and I can't help but feel like it's a direct result of all these obligations. Do you reckon I cut down on a few things, or just power through them? So you have recognized here that you may be feeling a lot of stress because your schedule feels overly packed. I would recommend cutting down on the things you think can be cut down. I'm assuming college can't be cut down, right? Because that's your education. So it's either the boxing training or the work shifts that you would have to cut down on. If you need those work shifts to get paid, obviously, and you're like need the money, then it seems that the boxing training would be the thing to cut down on. Maybe you're boxing training and you're looking to, go pro or something. So I can understand why you wouldn't want to do that. But if you yourself are recognizing that it's overwhelming, you're feeling stressed, you've got to do something. You can decide to power through them, and you might be able to. You might be able to do it. You might be able to make it to the end of the school year. It's the beginning of the school year. So you're talking about a whole 9 months, maybe 8 months. You might be able to do it, but it's a question of, do you think it'll be healthy for you to force yourself to upkeep this schedule that you already have recognized as being overflowing, as stressing yourself out? I think for your health, it's best to cut down. I think oftentimes, we put in high regard people who seem to do it all, right? If you ever go on YouTube and you see productivity YouTubers, they're like, bro, I go to this freaking Ivy League college. I have this freaking job. I'm on 7 clubs. I'm the captain of this team. I'm blah. And it's like, oh, what the flip, man? Like, you do everything. There's no pressure to be like that, okay? There's no pressure to be like that. Look after your health. Pay attention to how you're feeling. And make sure you have time yourself to relax as well. I would say my recommendation is, if you think you need to cut things back, cut things back. It's kind of related to the saying no thing. Sometimes you even have to say no to the things you kind of want to do, because it means it's going to be better for you overall. Regulating yourself is important. I recommend cutting down on a few things. Now, I'm not saying you can't power through them. You can do it, but you're signing yourself up to be stressed for the next 9 months. If you say it goes through the school year, you're signing yourself up to be stressed that long. You have to know what you're getting yourself into. Okay, let's see what we've got. I'm beginning to think Cindy's a therapist. I'm not a therapist. Hold on. I need to do the disclaimer again. I think people are getting a bit confused here. Let me read out the disclaimer again that my lawyer asked me to read. Give me a quick second while I pull it up, because we just have to clarify. Okay, here we go. This is strictly not therapy, and no advice given should be considered in any serious capacity. I hold no liability for any harm or psychological damage which may incur as a result, or would it be occur? I don't know. My lawyer probably proofread it. As a result of following any recommendations given. Just so we are 100% crystal clear on that. Thank you very much. I can't create a poll to impeach me. What? This man would die by the time finals would come if he powered through it. Oh, he would die by the time finals would come if he powered through it. Right. Simi isn't a therapist and I'm currently reporting him to the authorities. What's the number for 999 again? I appreciate the words a lot, bro. Thank you. I think I end up dropping a session of training and maybe change up for working hours to make them earlier. Yo, Storms, this is your one. I'm glad I was able to help, and I hope it I hope you start feeling less stressed, because yeah, I mean, it's also a stressful time. It's also a very stressful time as well. Just kind of being in your final years of the formal mandatory education too. So I'm wishing you best of luck with it. I can't help with this question because I've always been dreadfully boring and require staying at home at least 4 days a week. I wouldn't call you boring, Madeline. I have gloss in my eyes saying, please do mine because I really need the advice because my anxiety is going mad about it. I'm trying to respect the order. I was asked in the last stream to do similarly, and I said, hey, you know, I don't want to be skipping over things. I'll say, just as a quick one, post it in chat. Put it in chat. You know, it just seems you have a dilemma. What my question is, would you like have asked this if I wasn't doing not a therapist? Is there a dilemma you specifically need my feedback on? But you know, send it through anyway. What number were we ending on? That was 118. Last one was 118. The next serious one is, should I try my best at college? Absolutely. Try your best always. Try your best always. That's an easy one. Okay, I've got the next serious one is 124, so we'll resume on that one. Can I get your feedback on a dilemma real quick? Madeline, you trying to skip the queue as well? Like, bruh. I feel like Simi needs something exciting after having all this emotional load. Yo, it's calm. I'm chill. Whoa, what? Vince Gilligan sets up series at Apple starring Better Call Saul alum Ray Seahorn. Oh wow, okay. I'm curious. I'm definitely curious. Tamago using his advice to say no. I know, right? Have you put it in the chat? I have gloss in my eyes. I'm looking for it. Where is it? I have gloss in my eyes. What's up? Let's go. all right. Cool. Oh, my freaking back. All right. I'm gonna do I have glasses in my eyes once, and then that'll be it, people. I'm really glad you enjoyed this. We're gonna be back doing I'm Not a Therapist on Thursday. Okay, exclamation point NAT in the chat. I will get to yours. Let's see this. My head of year went, oh, Black Wolf Google, I will be careful about my back. I will. Thank you. What was this poll? Is he a therapist or not? What sort of poll was that? My head of year went to my friends and said 3 of us need to talk to him. One of them was me, but I wasn't in. This was today. It was about a bullying incident I had nothing to do with, and I don't know what I should tell him as I know he won't believe me. Oh, okay. Well, you know, I'm inclined to say always tell the truth. You know, you feel he won't believe you, but if you lie, then he would be right not to believe you because you lied. In the very least, if you tell the truth, then even if he thinks you've lied, you have actually told the truth. Call Saul. I mean, see, if this was like a legal thing, then yeah, get a lawyer, right? It seems like a tough situation. You know, it seems that there's been bullying involved. 3 people have been named. You're one of them. You say you're not involved. He doesn't believe you, or you think he won't believe you. I actually don't know what I could say to that. I would recommend telling the truth and saying, you know, I wasn't involved. I don't know about this. the girl that reported it just doesn't like me as a person, but the other two have actually done stuff. So someone was actually bullied, and the other two people have actually been bullying her. And okay, well then it's like, so these other two people, are they your friends? Did you say, yeah, so you went, head of you went to your friends. Okay, see, this is where it gets complicated, because it's like, if you're friends with bullies, then you're implicated if you're hanging out with them while they're bullying. Like, if there are 3 people and 2 people are bullying someone, and then the third person isn't doing anything but they're there are still 3 bullies, because there's someone who didn't do anything to stop the bullying happen. So there's still 3 bullies, right? I'm not calling you a bully, I'm just saying, right, you got to understand like the situation of how it like looks, right? So, you know, I think you can state your case and say, I personally wasn't doing anything, but as you've said, your 2 friends were doing something. You know, so it's kind of, it makes it sticky. I'm not gonna lie, it's a sticky situation. It is actually a sticky situation. There's a poll for, is Simi funny? What's the answer? Who is Simi? Thank you. It's a sticky situation. They weren't bullying her, in my opinion. It was not a consistent thing. It was one incident. They weren't bullying her, and it wasn't. Wait. Hold on. You're saying they weren't bullying her as it wasn't a consistent thing. It was one incident. So you're saying it wasn't bullying because it was one instance of bullying, or it was one incident. I mean, listen. We're acknowledging that someone has been wronged in this situation. We're acknowledging that your 2 friends wronged this person in this situation, and that you hang out with them, right? It's I would say speak to the head of you. Speak to the head of you. I mean, you don't really have a choice, to be fair. But yeah, I don't want to like make you feel like I'm accusing you of doing anything. I literally know nothing about the situation at all. But it's one of those things where the head of year is just trying to get to the bottom of it. You know, we have a student here who is upset enough to report it. You say you feel like they have it out for you. If they've been, you know, if something has happened with your friends, it would make sense why they would have something out for you, considering you're hanging out with them, right? So speak to the head of year, and you're gonna just have to see what happens. State your case. You say that, hey, listen, I wasn't doing anything. State your case. State your case the best you can. Don't lie, because if you lie and you get caught in your lie, then they will. There's no reason for them ever to believe you about anything. But it's one of those things. I don't know what your friends did. You don't have to tell us what your friends did. My head of year called them home, and he called their homes, and he told their mums, and I know if they do that to me, I'ma get got. Oh, right, okay. Like, it's not a good situation if they call your mum at home. Well, I would say they could have done that. Even though you're not in school, they could have called you at home. So maybe there's still an opportunity for you to be able to state your case to the head of year. It depends on the seriousness of the thing that happened. But I don't care about detentions or punishments from school. Yeah, so you're saying it comes down to, you know, what happens at home. Yeah, don't listen to Tom again. Oh, Tom again is talking to Madeline. Okay, I thought Tom again was saying beat your head of Europe. I was like, don't do that. Yeah, it's a tough situation. But ultimately, the person who has been wronged here is the girl. You say an incident happened. Whether you consider it bullying or not, it happened and she wanted to report it. She's the victim in this situation. So you do have to at least appreciate that aspect of it. When you speak to your head of year, showing an understanding of that can help. But ultimately, you just have to state your case as well as you can. It also depends on like your history with the head teacher. You say the head teacher doesn't like you, so it's like that doesn't help either. All I can say is like, best of luck. For instance, they threw water on everyone and she reported it. Okay. Was that the incident? Because you're saying for instance, so that suggests that that's an example of one thing that happened. So it means that there wasn't just one thing. There were multiple things that happened. But that was what happened. Okay, so that was what happened. They threw water on everyone. So they weren't trying to throw water on her. They're trying to throw water on everyone. Okay, if they're trying to throw water on everyone, then you know, that makes it a bit like, okay, bruh, come on, it was just messing around. But you also have to be honest with yourself. I'm not saying you're lying, but you know, oftentimes we can tell ourselves things to make ourselves feel better. Were your friends targeting her, or were they just chilling? I know he'll blame me because I brought a water gun in last year. Okay. So, all right, there's a bit of history here. You don't want to get in trouble. I get that. Yeah, you gotta help your case, man. You gotta help your case here because, like, if you have a history of having done things, then it sets up a precedent, and that's why they would assume you're involved in certain things even if you're not involved in it. This might be one of those things, and I'm just being honest because, like, obviously, you know, if you didn't do anything, you shouldn't get punished, but this might be one of those things where you have to eat the punishment and then just like try to be like a model student so that doesn't happen again. And if like these friends you're with continue to like do stuff that gets you into trouble, because it's sounding like you're in trouble because of your friends, it's kind of like, is it worth it? If you're okay with getting in trouble so that you can hang out with these friends, then continue. But if you don't want to get in trouble and your friends are getting you in trouble, you might need to get different friends. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what I'll say to that. Who's the funniest chat member? Wow, it's even. Everyone got 20%. That's crazy. All right, let me see. My friend just told me he got a 75-minute detention and a call home saying her mum is very... He got a call saying his mum is disappointed, or he got a call home and his mum is very disappointed. I guess that's what you mean. Yeah, he got a call home and his mum's very disappointed. Right. You might just have to eat it, to be honest. You might actually just have to eat the punishment. And then like in the future, just be like, yo, bro, let's chill. Because getting in trouble is long, man. Oh, the girl's mom is disappointed. You said her mom's disappointed. Okay, all right. Your friend is not a girl. Your friend is a guy. Okay, I understand. All right. Yeah. Honestly, I'd apologize to the girl as well. I'd apologize to her, like, sincerely. Even if you say you didn't do anything, right? You're with your friends at the time and they seem to do something. You say the water got on everyone, so I'm guessing all four of you. She didn't want to get wet. You got her wet. She didn't want to get wet, right? Well, not saying you. I'm saying you guys as a collective, because that's how she's viewing you. So I would say give her an apology and just kind of like tell your friends, guys, let's chill. Like, let's not do this again. So yeah, that's I'm trying to see if there's any context to what I've just seen in the chat. All right, I'm gonna need you to chill, Tom again. I'm gonna need you to chill, bro. All right. Anyway, anyway, let's call it there for the stream. Thanks for tuning in. It's because of what you said. I understand, but it's like, dude, come on, man. Come on, bro, chill. Simi not willing to read my message. I'm sad. Oh, okay. So you capture two of the people, you torture both, but one a bit more. Then you ask the question you need to ask to the more beaten person and confirm the answer to the second. If they're both right, they're telling you the truth. If not, the answer is false. You're doing these The Last of Us torture tactics for real, man. The Last of Us torture tactics for real. Oh man, I can't wait to have all my problems solved next Thursday. I hope I can help. I hope I can help, honestly. But yeah, and Tom again, I understand what you're going for, but it's just one of those things. It's just not the right time, not the right place, man. So yeah. They threw yogurt at her as well, bro. You did. I say you as the collective, because the three of you were together at the same time, right? You were together at the same time. She was bullied. That is bullying. You said she wasn't bullied, bro. That's bullying, man. Of course she's upset. Come on, dude. I understand you don't want to be in trouble. I get that, but you have to understand, she's hurt. She was hurt by you guys. You have to swallow the punishment. You actually do. She was hurt. No CCT either, so they have to go off that. I mean, wait, you was not in when it happened? Oh, that changes the situation. I thought you were just saying you weren't in when the head teacher called you in. You were not in when it happened? Oh, that changes it completely. Yeah, then just say you weren't in. You won't be seen as in on the register. Like, they will literally check the register of who was in school that day, and you won't be there. So yeah, there's no problem. Wait, what? Doesn't that mean there's no problem? Just say you weren't in. Like, what's the dilemma? Wait, I need you to... What is actually the dilemma? Just say you weren't in. I thought the whole problem was that you three were together and two of your friends were bullying her. But now you're saying you weren't even in when it happened. So they will just look at the register, they will see that you weren't in, and you'll be fine. Surely, right? Either that, or you're not being completely honest. I'm not gonna call you a liar. I don't want to say that. But you have to understand, this doesn't make sense. I don't know if they did it when I was in or not. I have glass in my eyes. Come on, mate. Come on, mate, bro. Come on, mate. Come on, man. What? Come on, bro. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying? What? Because I go sometimes to do things. For example, I go to my locker. Dude, perfect. It's not a therapist. It's not a therapist. All right, people in the chat, chill. I know you're writing the cap and all that. I know you're writing the cap, but wait, chill for a second. Let me look back. I'm gonna look at I've lost in my eyes entire chat history just so I can actually see, because I wonder, have I missed something here? So let me just see the whole chat history so I can work this out. Okay. Okay, so they did things. You're saying you may or may not have been there. You can't remember if you were there when they did things. It's sounding like this didn't happen in one occasion because, you know, water was thrown one time and everyone got wet. So you were there when the water got thrown and everyone got wet, right? On another occasion, yogurt was thrown at her. These can't be the same occasion because you say you don't know if you were there when the yogurt was thrown, but you know you were there when the water was thrown because everyone got wet, including you. So there was more than one occasion. So it wasn't one instance, like was said earlier. It was multiple instances, at least two. You just gotta take the punishment, man. I'm sorry, bro. You gotta take the punishment. I don't Or state your case 100%. Like, you gotta do. I did not do Sachin's redemptions, but I'll do them right now. You gotta lawyer up, represent yourself. Obviously, you can't get an actual lawyer, but you gotta like state your case. You have to state your case better than you've done it here. You have to do it better than you've done it here in the chat. But state your case. State your case. If you weren't there, say you weren't there. They'll be able to prove you weren't there because of the register. Now, if you were in school, but you weren't around, no, but you said you haven't been in the last 2 days. This story does not add up, man. I can just not attend the detention. My dad said he'd scrap the teacher. Your dad is saying he'll fight the teacher. That's a shambles. I'm sorry, man. How is your dad saying he's gonna fight your teacher? That's a complete shambles of a situation. I'm done. This is over. This is over. It's over, man. All right, people. Thanks for tuning into the stream. I'm gonna give you the headset here. Let's see if there's somebody to raid. Bro, do you know how stressful being a teacher is without having to deal with parents talking about how they're gonna fight? Nah, F that, bro. F that. MK Tuber is streaming Apex Legends, people. We're gonna be raiding her after this. Let me know how the headset hair is going. We can't end on this one. Give us one more. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. We gotta bounce. We will be back next week, people. We'll be back next week. What's it looking like? A 4? A 3? Oh, it doesn't look good? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Wait, hold on. I give that a 5. You don't think that can get a 5? Maybe a 4. Maybe a 4. It could get a 4. That ending alone made the stream a 10 out of 10. What time is it for me? It's currently 10:26 p.m. Highest I'll go is 4.5. Fair. It's Mario with the 2, bruh. That's deeper than the August story. Oh, man. Alright, people. Thank you very much for tuning in to the stream. So, was your mom cooking onions? I think she's making something. We'll find out. Super E stream, I'm sorry. Only mods can post links in the chat. That's why it got censored out. Do perfect. There will be a raid. Don't you worry. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna be finishing What Remains of Edith Finch. Should be a lot of fun. I actually got claimed for the Halloween song that played, but I've tried to dispute it because it was part of the game, so I don't know why I should get claimed for that. But we'll see. It probably won't go through, but it is what it is. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Until then, you have a very nice afternoon, morning, evening, or night, whatever time of day it is for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your queries and dilemmas. Remember, I'm not a therapist. I'll catch you next stream, people. Peace out, everybody. And bye-bye.